At the beginning of the year, I told you I thought Patriots had the least talented team on paper, and that's become prevalent.
Yeah, because of the injuries. I know it's unfortunate, man. You didn't think our best two players would go down like they did, but they did.
Well, I mean,
they would have beat the Raiders last week if.
What?
I think Pats would have won last week if Judon and Gonzalez were healthy.
Maybe.
They can't get to the quarterback. They have the biggest difference of the past 2 years. Mac's first year, the reason Mac looked decent his first year is because he had a great O-line. O-line is the worst I've ever seen right now. He doesn't get any time. So obviously he doesn't look great. He made some terrible passes, but it's also like, dude, I mean, he doesn't get more than 3 seconds in there. The reason Jimmy G has a job is because he gets the ball out really
Nobody's
quick.
sitting here saying anything good about Jimmy G right now.
But I'm saying the only reason he has a job is because he can get the ball out accurately very quickly.
Yeah, but he's
Within
still
2 seconds, the ball is out.
Nobody was sold on him, and everybody understands why he went to the Raiders and the 49ers moved on from him, though.
Yeah.
Because he lacked some sort of he made some bad throws and some mistakes. But the point being is, I think that the Patriots have a lot of decisions they have to make moving forward. Do you, as a fan, we talked about this last week, don't you want to be in the Caleb Williams running?
I do, but then you see the stuff comes out when he's saying he has his favorite teams. There's got to be a lot of validity to that, right?
Sure, but I think that a lot of that can change and be persuaded when agents and other people get involved and they talk about what a prestigious franchise this is. Yeah. And we're talking about that's not till April. We're talking about over 6-7 months from now of persuasion, money, contracts, people being like, look at what type of people. Tom Brady flying over there, having a conversation with the kid and being like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, he's friends. Tom Brady's friends with Robert Kraft. Don't forget that. If they were in that situation, you don't think Tom Brady wants the next greatest GOAT to go to play with New England? I mean, actually, he would want them to go play. Actually, maybe he wouldn't because he's associated with the Raiders.
Associated with the Raiders, and I think he's a Niners fan. So there's like a few teams where I could see him kind of, you know.
He's still, Robert Kraft goes, hey, you know, let's say the Raiders are sitting there at 8-9, just missed the playoffs. They're not in that world.
Yeah.
And Robert Kraft's like, can you get this kid, maybe send him a phone? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, what is he? Look, there's 4 to 5. There's going to be 5 quarterbacks taken in the top 10. And I know a few weeks ago we argued that if the Panthers had the first-round pick, would they take Caleb Williams? At this point, from what I'm hearing around the league, this guy is like the number 1 pick of all number 1 picks.
Yeah.
They're saying more than luck, more than anybody, whoever has the first round pick is not trading it. They're just taking it, regardless. And even if that is Chicago. And at this point, Chicago has the option to maybe, if Fields doesn't go next week and they drop to 1-6, they're in an interesting situation.
So if you're the Patriots,
it's hard because you know Belichick's not going to tank.
No. But also,
but if you want to tank, you can't fire the greatest coach of all time, the second greatest coach of all time, I should say.
But you can't. I mean, technically third.
He's technically is the first, actually, with championships.
Yeah, and playoff. We looked at a weird list last time. That was the regular season list. He was third. I think he's second in all time, including playoffs. Yeah, and I think his goal is to get to both.
The record is both. They said it this week. So he is, but he still is
like 17 away.
Like 20. It's like it's 18 wins away from Shula, which you got to think would take 3 seasons. Yeah. He's definitely not going to be with the Patriots for 3 seasons. So they were talking about, like, if he gets it, does he go somewhere else, and where would he go?
Well, that's what Adam Schefter was saying. He's like, even if the Patriots decide to move on from him, he's not just going to stop coaching football. It's his whole life. And he also, this past month, just got divorced as well.
He did?
Yeah. So this is his whole life.
And Bill Belichick got divorced at 75? Like,
yeah, and his wife is hot.
Why are you getting divorced at 75?
He must. This is all he cares about. Just football, probably just not.
She's probably like, hey, let's call it. Let's call it.
Yeah, probably. He's 71.
71.
I think he's the oldest coach.
Oh man, that's tough. Now you feel bad for him because they're about to go.
He'll go somewhere else, right? I mean, I could see him going to Vegas, but Adam Schefter was saying you can't just fire him. It has to be a mutual parting ways. But the thing that, as a fan, the thing that pisses me off is
Bills' next two games for the Patriots. Bills, Dolphins. They obviously have a bye in between there, I think, right? They have a bye next week? No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't have a bye. So they're going to be 1-7. And then the Commanders and Colts are games they could win.
Yeah.
But at 1-7.
After the game, I was making jokes. I said
you're hoping you start rooting for them to lose. At 1-7, you want them.
Any given week, anything can happen. Though we just saw the Browns beat the Niners. Like Patriots should have beat the Dolphins that one game. They blew that game.
Nobody says that. They shouldn't have. They didn't score until the fourth quarter. They made an effort in the fourth. They shouldn't have won any games yet this year. What do you mean?
Yeah, they should have. They should have beat the Dolphins. They had that game within reach, and then there was another. The Eagles game was in reach as well.
Are we starting to argue for no reason? Or are you being realistic about the Patriots?
I'm being realistic. A lot of Patriots fans are pissed about that they lost to the Dolphins.
They shouldn't have won it though. Nobody said that. Nobody.
So I'm just kind of stating like one of those like an observational fact that a lot of people have said, and your kind of fandom is kind of blinding you from that.
Hold on, I'll go through the game, and not as a fan, I'll go through all their games, and I'll say
that was a very winnable game for both teams, and the Dolphins won, so you should be happy.
No, but that's
all
not.
All I'm saying is, as a Patriot fan, you look at that game and think, we had that game.
No, you look at that game and go, we could have tied it on that last drive, which you didn't. You could have tied it.
Yeah, they should have.
That they should have maybe tied it, but that. You didn't score any points until the fourth quarter. You played bad for 3 quarters, so there were those should have won. If I go look at their schedule now, and you want to go should have won,
it was a competitive game. The whole game.
It was a competitive game until the fourth. It was. Before that, it wasn't. So it was a bad game. Now, what was a competitive game was Eagles-Patriots. You had the ball and a chance to win it on a game-winning drive. You could say that's something you could say. They should have won that. Okay, the second game. It's 17-3 with 5 minutes.
I'm not changing my opinion here.
That's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fine.
And a lot of people have said that.
That's fine. But for the viewers and anyone watching, I'm logically talking here. Okay, and then the Jets won. The Jets game, you won.
Yep.
All right. Cowboys killed you. Saints killed you. So those are 2 blowouts. So really, are you saying they should have won last night too then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Devontae Parker catches that ball.
Okay.
The refs really fucked us as well on that Zeke call. They call it a blatant holding call that wasn't even, the guy barely even touched him.
The thing about the NFL is any team can go through their schedule and pick out things and go, I should have won.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just the NFL in general.
Yeah.
But in this case, there are 2 blowouts.
2 blowouts, yes. The other games were all very winnable.
What?
I said, yeah, there were 2 blowouts, but the other games that they lost were very winnable.
I wouldn't say very winnable, but they had a chance to be in the game. I will say that. I'm just not going to say very winnable. I wouldn't say even like watching last night, I was like, I thought that they had a chance, but I wouldn't say it was a very winnable game. I thought it's 2 equally matched coaching matchups right now. If
Devontae Parker catches the ball that was in his hands, then they
have a better chance, but we got to see what happens. The ball's at the 50, yes.
Yeah.
We got to see what happens. But that's the whole point is they don't have good players.
Mm-hmm.
They got to make that catch.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, going forward, you root for them to not win.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
I don't think Caleb Williams is going to go there anyways. And
but there's 4 other quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't think. And
don't you want a top 10 pick?
Not really, dude. Because if Belichick's the coach, then I don't care. I don't care who the.
You think he's the coach next year?
I said if he's the coach, I don't care.
I think at this point it's pretty.
He's not getting fired, so he's going to either retire or resign.
But don't you think it's pretty understood widely that he's not the coach next year?
No, not at all.
You don't think so?
Not at all. Adam Schefter said that there's no way he leaves the Patriots. Adam Schefter knows more.
Probably, but then I just think from what I'm hearing, I think this is his last year.
Okay.
If there was a way to bet it, I would bet that he's there. I don't think he gets fired. I don't think you can fire him.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to want to rebuild with him, and I don't think they're going to be on the same page
about
rebuilding.
Too stubborn. He's like with this whole Juju Smith-Schuster thing over Jacoby Myers. Even like the personnel thing. I think his kind of thing is that he can win with anybody. So I think he's very hesitant, and he puts the team first and no players. He doesn't think any player matters. You know what I'm saying? Which I think it's getting tough for these really young guys to play for a guy like that. And he's got to kind of change his ways a little bit. Maybe get a young coordinator in there. I don't think Bill O'Brien's offensive coordinator is. I don't think his scheme is built for a guy like Mac Jones with no offensive line. I think it's kind of built for more.
You know what you're going through right now? 31 other NFL franchise fans had to go through stuff like this in the last 15 years.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be a really awkward way to have a 12-5 season, but it'll be fun. And then at least.
Do you think they win 5 games?
I do. Yeah.
Do you think you win 5 games? Do you think that you're 1-7 after the next 2 weeks? Do you think you win?
Well, thankfully we still got some division games coming up. Thankfully.
Do you think you beat the Bills or Dolphins in the next 2 weeks?
I do. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. I mean, those division games can go either way.
I think you could sneakily. Oh wow. Oh wow.
I got Pollard on my fans.
Is that Pollard?
Oh wow. Yeah, it's Pollard.
I think you could easily. I don't think easily. I think you could. You could catch the Bills off guard right now. For whatever reason, there's something going on.
I don't think since I've been alive, I don't think you haven't beat the Bills at least once in a season as a Patriots
You guys?
fan. Yeah, we never got
It's a different era
Bills.
now.
Yeah.
It's the Josh Allen era.
But I mean, Josh Allen's been in the league for 5 years. No.
Are you sure?
Yes.